Oh, Diame! Here's Hulk! Diame! The cross and it was Bale! Oh, they did it! I cannot believe it! I swear you'll never see anything like this ever again!
Hello everyone, we are Through on Goal, a podcast where we talk about football and pretty much nothing else. My name is Sam, and as always I'm joined by my co-host and very best friend Elliot. Hello Elliot, sorry, I'm going to ask how you are, but I've just realised I went, my name is Sam, like a game show host, and that's just not the vibe I'm going for.
Yeah.
How was your week?
It was the same as every other week, just this week was slightly colder. How was yours?
There's like at least 2 foot of snow out there. It's ridiculous out my window.
We haven't got any snow, it's just cold.
Oh, it snowed like mad. It started at 1 o'clock. Sorry, we talk about football, pretty much nothing else apart from the weather.
Yeah.
But it started at
How very
like
British.
Started at 1 o'clock when I just finished shopping, and then God, by 3 o'clock it was knee deep. So Jacob built a snowman. That was really nice.
Very nice.
I wasn't too excited for the Man United Liverpool game. Not gonna lie, standards weren't very high. It was good though.
I thought it was gonna. I thought it was gonna be better than the last one. I mean, it wouldn't have taken a lot, but it was better than my expectations. What a game it was!
Yeah, I didn't think. See, now the reason I didn't have my hopes up is that Klopp notoriously just does not take any competition seriously unless it's called the Premier League or the Champions League.
Yes.
He doesn't. But when I saw the lineup, I was thinking, okay, he looks like he wants to do something. And then because the game on Sunday or Saturday or whoever it was at the weekend, it was to go, to tighten the gap at the top of the table or to go more points. So I thought it more, quotation marks, was at stake for Klopp than this game. However, he seemed to go for it, and great game.
Yeah, so I thought this would be a lot more open anyway, obviously, because like you said, the first one, it meant that much more, and it was much more important to not lose it than it was to win it, because a loss there puts them out of the title race, effectively. But yeah, it was interesting to see how seriously he took it, but would he have done that without what happened midweek at home to Burnley?
Well, what was it? He's never gotten further than the fourth round with Liverpool in the FA Cup, and that baffles me.
Yeah.
Since they last won the FA Cup, I think it was they've gotten to the quarterfinals twice. I think the stat was.
They must have got to the semi-finals because we watched them lose to Aston Villa in a pub in Madrid.
I know. Okay. So they must have. Yeah. So quarterfinal, semi-final. It's not. I don't know. Liverpool.
You expect them to be in the running for every trophy.
Every year.
I know that obviously if it was a slightly easier draw in this round, they would have got through to the next round. But yeah, for as long as Klopp's been there, to have only reached the fourth round, that is a surprise.
Yeah. Let's talk about Divock Origi. We'll mix in the Man United game and the Burnley game. The Burnley game, massively significant because 68 games at home unbeaten has come to an end.
Yeah.
Mourinho made a little bit of a sly dig after it, didn't he? Saying that he doesn't think that any team ever will beat his 84 home games at Chelsea, which is just typical Jose. Fair enough. In regards to Origi, what... I couldn't quite believe it. He's gone top bins. He's thinking, let's be a hero. Top bins. And he messes it up completely. Obviously, a mistake from Ben Mee. What? You slot that. That is one of the... I'm not a professional footballer, but I like to think I'd at least hit the target.
You play it safe, don't you? You think that it's a very similar chance to the chance Demba Ba had at Anfield all those years ago when you're running through on goal. 1v1 with the keeper. And yeah, you just open your body up and you place it along the floor, or you've got the whole goal to aim at, but he's tried to pick out the top corner, and maybe he's thinking in his head, it's only Burnley. There's going to be another chance.
It's only Burnley. Well, that's like, with respect. But I didn't quite expect it to be Burnley, I guess, because the last time they lost was to Crystal Palace, April 2017, with Big Sam in charge.
Yeah.
Klopp hates Big Sam. It's just, they can't do it. But it's so typical because Liverpool's next game's against Tottenham. Haven't scored a goal in the league since the 1-0 against West Brom, I think just before Christmas. Haven't scored 2020 on a really poor run of form. Tottenham with those teams are a dream because Liverpool probably like, it's Spurs. Brilliant.
4-0.
There we go. Easy win there, because that's just what Tottenham do. Every goalkeeper, I'm saying this now, every goalkeeper in the history of like football, especially Newcastle for some reason, seem to have the game of their life against Tottenham. There doesn't seem to be a team that doesn't have a great game against Tottenham. But anyway, so Tottenham, Liverpool's next game, because have you seen their run of fixtures?
No, I haven't.
So their run of fixtures goes Tottenham, West Ham, Brighton, Man City, Leicester, Everton.
It's not what you want when you're on a poor run of form, is it?
Or it could be the test that they need to kickstart, if you know what I mean. Because I don't know. There you go. Right, on to the... No, I'm joking.
But yeah, going back to your kind of original point of being surprised that it was Burnley, I'm not so surprised it was Burnley, to be honest, because I'm pretty sure they were the only away team to get points from Anfield last season. There's not many teams in the league as good as them at sticking to a defensive game plan. You think with how solid they're just, the amount of chances Liverpool had, or they're only really half chances because of the way Burnley defended, and it's just bodies on the line, block it, everything like that. Nick Pope coming up with some very good saves. I think there was one down to the side of him that he very strong wrist to keep out, and you could, the whole time it was 0-0, the longer and longer it went on at 0-0, you thought there's going to be a chance here. And to be honest, I think the penalty was a little bit soft.
I was going to ask you that, but there's contact. But I think Barnes knows. I think
that's one of those that, as it was given by the ref, I don't think there's enough proof to say it's not a penalty. But equally, if it wasn't given as a penalty, there wouldn't have been enough proof to say that is a penalty, overrule it. So for me, it's harsh. You've seen them given, you've seen them not given. But what a game for Burnley. And also, we're talking about Liverpool losing. Credit to them for the record that they've been on. Because, 68 home games unbeaten. That is only the second game that Andy Robertson has ever lost at Anfield, the first of which he was in a Hull shirt.
Well, Mane. I read something quite similar to that. I think that was Mane in 2014 joined Southampton, so he's been playing the Premier League since 2014, and that game against Burnley was the first time he's ever lost at Anfield. That is a ridiculous record.
That is crazy, yeah. And I know Shaqiri as well is another one who has only lost at Anfield playing for another team. Alisson as well only lost at Anfield, or you can say he hasn't lost at Anfield in the league. He obviously lost in the Champions League when he was at Roma. But credit to them for the
league. No, absolutely.
Record that they have.
An interesting stat, because we love a good stat. This one's not so pleasant for Liverpool fans anyway. But most shots since the last goal in the Premier League. So we've got Southampton with 14, Crystal Palace with 18, Villa with 18, Leeds with 27, and then first is Liverpool with 87 shots since their last goal.
And to be fair, that Villa stat has probably changed as well, because I'm presuming that was before yesterday. That stat was picked up when
Saturday,
because Villa beat Newcastle last night.
Oh yeah,
but that's unbelievable. It's
87. That is a lot. Like, what's happened? What's changed? I don't get it. They're still playing the same kind of attacking football, but
at this stage, after a couple of games, does it become a mental thing? Are you running at goal and you're thinking we haven't scored in a long time, and that sort of lapse of confidence maybe?
Yeah, you should. But like a team like Liverpool who've won the Premier League, Champions League, they've won it all. I don't that mentality. I don't think should be creeping in, because they are winners. They're world class players, like most of that team. But I reckon, I don't know, a lot of the problem might lie, with the higher ups, the FSG, I think they are, because Klopp's been quite vocal. He wants a new centre back. He absolutely knows. And I know right now there's a bit of a dip, obviously. There's not much money coming into the club through ticket sales. So we can't just go throwing millions and millions into players and stuff. I get it. But Lovren left, who arguably is, he wasn't amazing, but I'm sure that there's that cover.
Yeah.
And obviously Van Dijk and Gomez then go out. You two, like the centre-back pairing. And then it's been Fabinho, Henderson, Matip, Reece Williams. And it's been a bit all over the place. And there's not really been that support to try and strengthen, the areas. Because recruitment-wise, Klopp he's never been, I don't think he's been awful. I think the players he's brought in.
Yeah, he's never really been too far off the mark, has he? You think of they needed a centre-back, went out and got Van Dijk, needed a goalkeeper, went and got Alisson. I'd presume Salah would have been under Klopp as well. It would have been you need an attacking player, go out and get Salah, and it's...
Jota, good piece of business.
Yeah, exactly. But it's a difficult one. You can see why the people at the top are maybe questioning, do we need another centre-back? Because what do you look for? Your main centre-back, you're arguably the best centre-back in the world, or at least before his injury, is coming back. Whether he's going to be the same or not, who knows? But got to act as if he's coming back as the player he was.
But you still got to protect him, though.
But then your second choice centre-back is also going to be coming back in the next few months, maybe next season. But so what do you buy? Do you buy a big name so it pushes Joe Gomez down the pecking order, where he's very good, very talented young English centre-back? Or do you buy short-term a third choice centre-back, or someone who's going to be long-term the third choice centre-back, or just getting some experience on a 12-month deal or something like that?
No experience. Yeah, no, I get, yeah, it's difficult. It's January as well. Being in the January window, it's just...
Yeah, it's
January
known for
window
being
in this
horrible.
the January window in this current climate. What an awful time to be in charge of the money.
Yeah, I'm sure that shows why there's not really been a lot of major signings.
I can't think of any of the... not major, not on the top of my head.
Major signings. I think the biggest one is about to happen, which we're going to be talking about, but it's not enormous. Like, it's nowhere near enormous. It's a squad player for a team outside the top six.
Yeah, it said it, didn't it? But obviously credit to Burnley, and then obviously today, credit to United.
Yeah.
That set up is it West Ham in the next round?
I think it is West Ham, yeah.
West Ham in the next round. And Cheltenham, I thought they were going to do it. I thought they were going to do it. I knew they wouldn't.
But they nearly did.
I just really wanted them to do it. I really wanted to see it happen. But what Guardiola said at the end, did you see what his conference about? This is, the team, the stadiums like Cheltenham, this is where we started. We show respect and stuff. And
right.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. And I think while on the topic of FA Cup, the holders are out. Arsenal are no longer 1-0 to Southampton.
Seems like there's still a fallout at Arsenal. There still is. Like,
yeah.
Do you see the thing? Balogun, his tweet right on full time, tweeted a video of him scoring goals, and he's not in the squad for the FA Cup game.
Oh,
that's not what you want. But
I don't think you do that. And I see Chris Hughton didn't really want to win the FA Cup, or at least bring some sort of positivity to Nottingham Forest, did he? Losing 5-1 to Swansea, which I am putting a lot of money on. I think ruined everyone's Super Six. Absolutely everyone's. I think I put a 1-1 draw for that or something like that. You wouldn't know. You forgot to do it.
Didn't ruin my Super Six. Yeah, I forgot this week. Don't know why.
A lot of people. Yeah, that ruined all of ours.
But I mean, it was really good of Chris Hughton to be doing that, because it's far too cold to be jumping in any kind of canals at the moment, isn't it?
We're coming back to that every time. Let's talk about the success of Man United at the moment, because let's face it, they're becoming, the Man United that I certainly remember. Well, not becoming. They're not playing like it, but they're winning the games and stuff. And there's obviously, you've got the likes of Bruno Fernandes, of course. Maguire, their centre-backs seem to be becoming a bit better and more assured of themselves. But individual performances, Pogba and Luke Shaw, really seem to have stepped up.
Two players that Jose wanted to sort of cast out at United.
That's it. He was ready to get rid of them.
Because, I remember sort of Luke Shaw hitting the scene at the Premier League, 16, 17 years old, going to be the next big thing at Southampton. And he moved to United, and he's been okay. He's been average. He's not been... I don't think you'd necessarily call him a flop because of the sort of longevity they've got out of him. But he's not excelled. He's not become the player that people have thought he may become. But recently, he has looked very good. I saw a good stat. Let me just...
We love a good stat.
So during the game against Liverpool today, Luke Shaw made more tackles than anyone on the pitch and created more chances than any other United player. And that's what you want from your fullbacks. It's stopping chances and creating chances.
You'd put those kind of stats towards Robertson or Alexander-Arnold, but Luke Shaw's coming up with that kind of thing. It's really good to see. And when you think about, 2020 was so long. So long. I can't remember if it was last season or the beginning of this season, but I'm pretty sure I think it was this season. Whoever the most awful man in football.
Mino Raiola.
Him. Alex Ferguson's worst enemy.
Yeah.
Didn't he come out and say that Pogba's, he's gone? he wants to leave. He's out of it.
It was on the eve of the Leipzig game that knocked United out of the Champions League and into Europa League. It was the night before.
Yeah, that's it. Yes, it was. So it was this season. I do remember that. Yeah,
awful timing.
Awful. Oh, shocking. I think we even talked about it, didn't we? Since then, Pogba is like, wow. He's first choice. He's cemented his place there, and he's the. When you look at the goals that they're scoring, or where you look at the chances they're creating, they are all starting with Pogba. Yeah. He wins the ball, or he does a little, like, just a nice pass out.
And you think because I've watched a number of United games recently, and if it's not Bruno Fernandes getting man of the match, it's Paul Pogba. I think Pogba got it again today.
Yes, he did. Yeah. So, is that, Elliot, a result of, hey, other teams, look at me, I'm a good player? Or is that him actually starting to believe in the system that Ollie's put in place and that they can challenge for titles?
Yeah, perhaps. Depends who he's trusted more with communication, whether it's his agent or whether it's Ollie. But yeah, and you've seen Pogba do well in a number of roles as well. Like, he's been pushed out to the left and he's still kind of excelled at times. He's been that holding player that nobody thought he was. He's done well. He's been given the freedom to push up. He's done well. And I've always said Pogba, like, he always has sort of 4 or 5 good games a season. Now, they're either all coming at once or that's about to change.
Yeah. So obviously, with Pogba, going back onto Luke Shaw, obviously if we're doing our team of the half season almost, he could be up there for left back choices. I think Reguilon is another one that's close. But
yeah, I'd maybe put Robertson in there because I think he's been one of Liverpool's better performers of the season. But he's definitely in the argument. Yeah.
Is that because he's now got competition?
Potentially. With
Tellez is good. I think Tellez, when he came in, I think, I'm not going to pretend that I've watched every single game of his he's played for United and stuff. But from what I've seen of him, of the games that have been on and he's played, capable left back. And maybe, who was the backup before that? Was it like...
Would have been Brandon Williams.
Oh, Brandon Williams. He's right-footed though. Like,
that's
I
don't
think I've ever seen a kick with his left. Yeah,
it's
right-footed left back.
Oh, no.
Hate to see it. And then it might be Fonsu Mensah or...
Yeah.
Mensah or,
you're either looking at Fonsu
Mensah or something like that might play there.
You're looking into the academy.
Lindelof, I think, has been played on the right and the left. But Baye's been played on the right and the left. Yeah, so there's not really been that left-back competition. There's been cover, but there's not been competition.
Yeah.
And maybe now, Shaw's seen
but
that. And
if you're Gareth Southgate, you're thinking at the moment, surely Luke Shaw's got to go as one of our left backs rather than Kieran Trippier or...
Well, if Trippier's allowed to.
Yeah. True. But yeah, you think obviously Chilwell's going to be first name in that left back position, presuming he's fit at the time. But we've never really, for a long, long time, had great competition at left back.
I'd argue since Ashley Cole.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we had like Leighton Baines. I think Luke Shaw's been there. Danny Rose at a time was there. And then, I don't know where Danny Rose is at the moment. I don't know what he's doing. Hopefully listen to this every Tuesday. Am I right, Danny? Tell your friends. He's got a lot of time on his hands now, isn't he? So it's interesting to see. I feel like I'm back in like year 9, year 10 with Man United top of the league. Like Man United and Man City both challenging for the top of the league. This is sick form era.
You're expecting Carlos Tevez to move between the clubs at some point, aren't you?
Yeah, that's it. I've wrote a Mancini wearing his scarf on the touchline, and But no, I like this title race. I say it every week, and I will keep saying it until it becomes obvious who's going to win. I like this title race. It's just I don't know,
because as a massive neutral, I've got no affiliations to any of the clubs at the top end. Whenever I'm watching United game or whatever, I'm wanting the result that will keep it more open.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, because what was it? Man City won midweek to go top of the league.
Yeah,
and then Man United then had to produce a performance.
Yeah,
to they go back top of the league, and it's interesting because it's just like a seesaw, isn't it?
When I actually wrote these notes, it was during the United Liverpool game, and for those listening, but for other people than Sam, the note says Man United digging deep to come from behind to win again. Now that was in relation to them beating Fulham, not Liverpool.
Yeah, because Man City beat Aston Villa 2-0, and literally about an hour and a half later, Man United then won 2-1 to go top. So it's a fun title race, and one last thing to mention about the title race, I think, is Liverpool have gone 8-1 to win the league, which I think is, I think that's far too high odds, because Liverpool are a team that when they get going, they can win 10, 12, 13 in a row. They can just go for it, if you know what I mean. Yeah, they're on a bit of a slump, but who's to say these next 10 games they're not going to win? They can do it. You saw it last season. They were unbeaten for most of it. So 8-1, I just think is very high odds for them to not win the league.
I'd say it's just Man City's to sort of lose at the moment, but yeah, absolutely wide open. And I think they said that by the time Liverpool next play, they could go, I think it was as low as 7th due to games in hand for
that's Roy Hodgson era.
Yeah, Villa.
That's Roy Hodgson and Sammy Lee on the touchline.
I think Villa and Everton can both go above them before they play again.
I love football.
Yeah, that was
I love it.
That was one of the sort of draft names of the podcast before we did it, wasn't it? I love football.
Just I love football, yeah. It's true.
So the next game that we're kind of moving on to from the weekend is Chelsea. They obviously dispatched Luton in the end 3-1. I think it was very well taken hat-trick from Tammy Abraham. But the big...
One goal probably shouldn't have stood, but that's just, I'm just saying.
But the big question is, again, about Timo Werner. Got a penalty, and ordinarily he's maybe not penalty taker because of Jorginho. He gets a chance to take it, and it's saved, and his kind of dry spell goes on.
Well, Chelsea have missed their last 4 penalties, I think I read. So regardless of who's taken it, whoever's taken it, Jorginho I think's missed the last 3, and then so Werner comes in. Is he? I don't know. Right, I've said that a lot this episode. I don't know, but the thing is with Werner is I've never seen when he's played. My personal opinion, I think when he's played this season, I've never looked at him and gone, oh, he looks good, or that was unlucky. Like, not that unlucky, but if, say, for instance, Kane or Salah were to miss the chances that Werner's missed, you kind of think, on another day
they'll get the next
scoring. Yeah, exactly. With Werner this season, I haven't got that impression from him. Every time he misses, I think, well, he might miss it. I can't remember what team it was against. Didn't he clear it off the line?
Leeds. He cleared it 2 yards. And I think he had a volley and he just put it straight up. But
from a player, obviously, from a team perspective, but from a player perspective, it isn't nice seeing a player struggle like that. Because I know it was only Luton, with respect, it was only Luton, but I'm sure a goal, just to have that goal feeling, sort of
confidence,
would have done something to him, but he's missed it. That's got to shoot your confidence further down. I think he's been on the bench the past few games because he just hasn't hit any form. And I feel for a player like that.
I wonder if part of the problem is the beginning of that sort of spell without any goals. He was being pushed onto the wing where he can play, but he's not a winger.
No, he's not
a forward. Yeah. He gets his goals in and around the box. He sort of comes in late, gets almost Lampard goals, you think.
Yeah.
It's that kind of finisher. But yeah, because he gets pushed out to the wing, doesn't score in a few games, and then he's only coming off the bench. And it is obvious that it kind of hurt him, because I saw when the penalty was saved, his reaction, he's just like, I can't catch a break.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's too early to say whether he's a flop or not, because he's shown in other leagues he is more than capable to score goals. But
I mean, do you remember De Gea's first season in the Premier League? And what do we think of him now? He's like one of the Premier League's best keepers that have ever played in the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? So
maybe he just needs to keep at it, and I'm sure the chances will come. And once you get you see it with players like Che Adams, for one. He scored only a couple of goals last season, or not scored until right towards the end of the season.
Man City goal, and now I think it was one of his first goals he scored that season, where he chipped the keeper from 40 yards.
No, he's absolutely banging them in. He's a very capable striker, and you're thinking the £16 million they paid for him is a good deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, football's a lot about confidence, and I think once he sort of gets a few, he'll start to fill his boots.
Well, I read I can't remember what news it was, but Chelsea haven't exactly been on an incredible run of form, and it wasn't that long ago that we said, oh, could they win the league? Are people only saying they can't win the league because Lampard's the manager? Well, obviously, no. That's not the case. But Nagelsmann or something like that, or a German-speaking manager, they want to come in because they think that they could boost. And it's like, you shouldn't have to have a German German-speaking manager to boost the confidence of your players and stuff. And I'm not saying Lampard is right or wrong man for the job. He's not. He bit a little bit at a journalist, didn't he? He got right
Friday,
on that hook.
Yeah. You could tell that the pressure's kind of getting to him.
I was going to say,
it's the biggest job he's ever had.
And he's normally quite a cool, calm kind of character, apart from telling Klopp to F off on the touchline, which I still find hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, he kind of bit back, and yeah, that pressure is kind of getting to him, and I can see why. They haven't been good. They just haven't been good enough.
Yeah, because it wasn't all that long ago that we were kind of touting them for the title.
Pushing up.
They'd obviously signed very well, and I still think that the signings are very good. It's maybe just a little too much all at once. But you think Thiago Silva's been a very good signing. He's kind of secured up that back line. He's been nominated for Player of the Month in the Premier League at least once.
Yeah.
Then what's his name? Ziyech. Whenever we've seen him, has looked very good.
Yeah.
But he's spent probably half the season now injured. Chilwell is a massive improvement on what they had.
Yes.
He's still I don't think the finished package, but he's a massive improvement of a choice of Emerson or Marcus Alonso.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at Havertz and Werner, and yeah, it's just kind of not happened with them yet. But Kai Havertz will be happy that they went through, because with respect, they've got Barnsley in the next round.
Hat-trick incoming.
Yes.
But put it into like kind of perspective. Now, I know obviously at this moment, the where you are in the table and your points total, they're still close. So like one win from like 7th could take you to 3rd. Do you know what I mean? It's still quite close.
Yeah.
But Southampton have again Arsenal on Tuesday, which is their game in hand, I think.
Is that at St Mary's?
Yes, again, yeah.
Oh.
And if they win that, Southampton win that, Chelsea go 10th. And Arsenal, who were touted like relegation candidates at the beginning of the season, if you remember, 2 points off Chelsea. And, you know, we've got to give credit to Arsenal in recent form. They lost 2-1 to Everton on 19th of December, and then they've won 1, 2, 3, 4 of their last 5, only drawing 0-0 to Crystal Palace. So they've turned it around. And then what's happened?
I still find Arsenal boring to watch, though. I can't stick on a game and get excited by it.
Yeah, I'm still wondering what kind of system he's playing. I don't get. Is it? I don't know. But, you know, Arteta. It's for another day.
And yeah, we're going to speak on it in a little bit, but about to possibly sign Odegaard as a number 10. But the system they're playing doesn't have a number 10. So
I really
you'll
play
don't know
CDM,
that,
I reckon.
Yeah, it's kind of all gone wrong for Chelsea, and it's kind of gone wrong under the radar. I think they haven't been blown away here, there, and everywhere. It's just they're dropping points and they're losing games that you maybe wouldn't expect them to. But yeah, Chelsea in midweek lost 2-0 away to Leicester. That's the kind of game you expect to be a close game, but in the end, it wasn't really, because Leicester were 1-0 up within 6 minutes, and it was just quite convincing, really, by Leicester. And I don't think the way Leicester won was saying too much badly about Chelsea. It was just Leicester's performance.
Leicester this season have seriously been good. One thing that Leicester have going for them is whoever is in charge of their recruitment is phenomenal.
Isn't it?
It's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Like, you'd think signing a 30-odd centre-back from West Brom, Johnny Evans, you think, really? He's one of the best on-form centre-backs at this current moment in time. You know, right back in Ricardo Pereira, he's getting a bit injured. Let's sign Castagna, and he's been performing really well this season.
They've got Justin James as well.
Yeah, he's been
had
brilliant.
A phenomenal season. He's played everywhere across the back. But
Fofana as well at centre back again.
He looks a serious player.
Yeah.
The problem is they don't have enough spaces in defence to fit all these players in.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
You look, Harvey Barnes is really picking up form. Vardy just scores goals for fun, doesn't he? And you know, Albrighton's your Mr. Consistent on the right hand side.
Sengi Sunder as well. He's looking very good. Scored again today.
Yeah, it's like whoever's in charge of getting these players, you know, signing for them. Fair play to him.
In recent years, I can't think of a lot of Leicester signings going wrong. The most recent one I can think of that has gone wrong
Eldin Jakupovic.
He was brought in as third choice keeper.
Sorry,
that still hurts. But no, it was Slimani.
Yeah.
Which was in the summer after they signed, which was the summer after they won the league. But yeah, you just every bit of business looks to be good. They brought in 4 players in the summer. Fofana, who is one of the best young centre backs in the league, still only 20. Under, who has looked phenomenal every time I've seen him play. Castagna, again, amazing. He can play anywhere or anywhere wide. He can play either full back and either wing. And then they brought in Ryan Bennett as a sort of just squad player for for cups and like early rounds of the cups. And
yeah,
he's played the games he's had to. And actually, I think he's on loan at Swansea now. But it was, I think, I was watching the other night. It was the Premier League years of when Leicester won the league. First of all, I just want to say that is when football really peaked.
God,
because
believe that.
Even if another team does a Leicester, you've just done a Leicester.
That's it.
It's
good. It's happened again. Yeah.
But I think I've said it before. But everything Leicester have done since that moment has been absolutely spot on. They could have lost their heads and gone, "We've just won the Premier League. Get us some superstars in. Let's spend £80 million on a striker."
And Brendan Rodgers as manager, he's absolutely brilliant. Everywhere he's kind of gone, he's like, he was at Swansea and made them a solid Premier League team at one point. I think they were finishing nearly top half, and then Liverpool, obviously well-known slip, but I reckon if it wasn't for that slip, Rodgers would have been the first Liverpool manager to bring them a title. And then he went to Celtic, one title was there because of course at that time it was just Celtic were the only team in Scotland. And then he's come into Leicester and there's something about Rodgers, he's class, absolute class manager. I don't think he gets enough praise. I don't think people talk about him enough as
extremely
one of the top managers in the Premier League.
And I mean, one sort of little trait of Brendan Rodgers that does annoy me is every time they score, the way he puts his arm up, it's like it's him who scored. He's taking the credit for it.
Let him have fun.
Yeah, but also there's been talk today that Leicester are wanting this LIVERPOOL'S Cham, a centre mid from Celtic.
Well, he's going to be world class, so.
Well, but I can't pretend I watch a lot of Scottish football, but I do always watch the old firms.
Yeah.
And he's a serious player. He is he's a level below, but he's a similar kind of player to Ndombele, and I think he could really kind of boost that midfield. I mean, does it need boosting? I don't know. With Tielemans, with Ndidi,
there is enough in there.
But if they do manage to get him, it's going to be absolutely fantastic for them.
Good to know. We quickly touched upon Arsenal not long ago. We won't spend long on it, obviously, because we mentioned Odegaard, coming in. Seemingly to be, I'd say, a replacement for Ozil, but Ozil hasn't really played enough for someone to replace him. But obviously that number 10, and Ozil's finally gone to Fenerbahce, who he's been very vocal of being a supporter pretty much his whole life. So good to him, maybe he hits the form in Turkey, gets some form back.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan has signed for... You text me. All you did was, because whenever you text me a link, I'm always like, okay, what's happened here? And I pressed it, and it was Matt Ryan holding up an Arsenal shirt, number 33, and I'm like...
I thought it was fake. Until I clicked on the profile.
Because it wasn't... I can't remember what it was. Brighton were playing not long ago. I think they were on the TV, and obviously he wasn't in goal, and someone else was in goal. I haven't... I'm not going to pretend to keep track of Brighton's first team squad selections, but I was like, oh, is Ryan injured then? He must be injured. And I read that he went down to like 4th choice. I'm like, what? Why? What happened? Maybe he was off form. I don't know. And now he's just signed for Arsenal. I'm like, okay.
Yes, it's Robert Sanchez, the keeper now at Brighton. And I think it's Christian Walton, who's had a couple of loan spells at, I want to say, Wigan and maybe Blackburn. Might be wrong on Blackburn. But yeah, you just think Matty Ryan's been kind of consistent for them throughout the whole time they've been in the Premier League. And yeah, it's a really odd one. It was quite sort of nostalgic because it's the first time in a long, long time that there's been a transfer and you just haven't known about it before it's happened.
I loved it. I love transfers like that where you're just like, huh? Okay, fair enough. And yeah, take away social media. Who needs it anymore? We don't need the internet. Let's just have the transfers come in. Have Jim White shout at you like he's just received word, like, gets his glasses on and gets his phone out in the middle of everything, just being like, I'm not going to pretend to do a Scot. I'm not going to try and do an accent. Can barely do anything. But yeah, so I just thought I'd mention it.
I did see today, I don't know how reliable it was, but saying that Brighton are now chasing Sergio Romero, which would make a lot of sense.
No,
straight away as number 1. It gets money off United's books for a player who's not going to be playing.
Could do what Martinez has done for Villa. Because I always thought Romero was he was such a good number 2, arguably probably the best number 2 in the league. Because whenever he played, he just seemed assured of himself. He seemed very, very good.
And did a very good job.
And I think he has been treated quite unfairly with Henderson coming back, because Romero he never did wrong for United. I don't remember ever seeing anyone complain, or I don't remember ever watching a game with Romero playing and gone, oh God, he's a bit shaky, he's a bit dodgy. Because no disrespect to Henderson, but since he's gone back to United, I've been like, yeah, I think De Gea is number one. Because every time I've seen Henderson start for United, he hasn't looked
the same,
confidence. No, exactly. And like today, I'm not saying... Again, it's situation, you know. I think he should have saved Salah's second goal.
The one that went through his legs?
Yeah, I think it was quite easy. And obviously,
I think De Gea saves it.
Yeah, and there was that mistake at Sheffield United, which caused the goal. And again, De Gea seems to have quite stepped up this season. Like last season, yeah, you'd think in Henderson all day long. But every time Henderson's played, I've been, I don't know. I don't think he's Man United's number one. And it's unfair on Romero. Because I'm not saying he was number one, but he was a bloody good number two.
On the Henderson thing, sort of 24 months ago, England number one was Jordan Pickford. 100% it's Jordan Pickford. 12 months ago, every English football fan was thinking England number one is Dean Henderson. 100%. And now every England fan is screaming Nick Pope.
But yeah, absolutely.
But
it's good to have that choice in England keepers, because I can't remember the last time we actually had a good England keeper. Joe Hart, in peak Joe Hart, was absolutely brilliant.
Screaming at ball boys.
But it was that Iceland game.
Please don't talk about
it. That's fine. We'll
with Romero, it'll be interesting if he does move to Brighton. It'll be interesting to see if he's like you say, Emiliano Martinez to Villa, or is he a Victor Valdez to Middlesbrough?
Oh yeah. His wife would be happy though. Not being at United. Being treated with respect. Right, EFL action. Wayne Rooney up the Rams, my new local team, up the Rams. 2 wins in 2, and one obviously against QPR, who have been struggling in form of late, but against Bournemouth, you know, who are challenging for the title, not playoffs. You know, this is Bournemouth that challenging for the title, and you get a nice 1-0 win. The thing is with Derby is that they've struggled to score, and they struggled to score, and they always conceded. That was Derby's massive problem. It's a big problem with football if you're conceding more than you're scoring. Doesn't matter what team you are. Rooney's kind of come in and he stopped the conceding. Like, you know, Derby don't seem to be conceding much. The scoring is slowly coming. And I think Colin Kazam-Richards has been a huge influence on that team. Massive influence on that team. Since he's come in and started, they play better. They play much better with him up top. So, fair play to Rooney. I think he's justifying it.
Yes, a couple of big wins. And just look at their recent form. Their last 4 games in the league have all finished 0-0. Lost 2, won 2. You're not getting... Well, I was going to say you're not getting a lot of value for your Derby season ticket, but I don't think anyone's getting a lot of value from their season tickets at the moment.
No, they're not. Their home form has been left a lot to be desired, but they're 5 points off the relegation zone, and Rotherham, all right, they've got like 3 games in hand. I'm not saying they're going to win them. Their 3 games in hand, I think, are against Middlesbrough, one's against Derby, and one's against Cardiff. I think all around there, but they seem to be going about their way of being like, yeah, we aren't relegation candidates. And now I'm looking at Derby thinking, yeah, I'm not sure you'll be relegated this season. I guess I never really believed it at the beginning of the season, you know, when they were poor.
Yeah.
But no, I'm starting to think that they'll finish probably like 16th or 15th, and the next season could be, if the takeover happens. I don't even know what's going on with this take.
It just keeps kind of bubbling on, doesn't it? And nothing's happening. Players aren't getting paid. You're getting players sold to pay wages, and something needs to happen soon.
Yeah, exactly. The chief executive, I don't know who it is, but he keeps coming out saying, no, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And the Sky Sports were kind of reporting that it's not. But there hasn't really been any official word from Derby, because they released a statement before Christmas saying it's going to happen. Just chill. It's going to happen. And then players haven't been paid since. Rooney's been made permanent manager, so, you know, he's doing all right. Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
It's a real strange one. And you think, with it being January, there's 1 week left of the window. They're probably not going to get the takeover done in time for it to have an impact on this transfer window. And then, why would you move to a club when the players aren't getting paid?
No.
So it looks like it is a struggle to stay in the division this season. And if the takeover comes, you've got to approach next season differently, hoping that you're in the Championship.
So, Hull are doing all right, aren't they?
Yeah, what is it? This last week, scored 7, conceded 0. It's all right against 2 sort of promotion rivals. Accrington are a little bit below, but they've got a number of games in hand, and they were doing really well up until they lost to Gillingham.
The Gills.
So thanks for that.
That's all right. We got Lincoln at televised. We'll hopefully do you a solid there as well.
Yeah, that'd be lovely, thank you. But then, so also strangely enough, we had Accrington last Tuesday at 5:30. We play Accrington on Tuesday at 5:30 this week, twice in a week in the league, which is a weird one. But the big performance, well, I'll talk about why these big performances are happening. Keane Lewis Potter has finally signed the deal. It sounded like it was basically he was told you're signing or you're not playing, and we're getting a replacement in. And the kid just wants to play football. And I don't think he's the problem. I think it's agent talk. If the agent hears a sniff of a big money move, they're trying to push it. But the kid's signed, and I think he's the best player in the league. He's absolutely phenomenal. Within a few minutes of his first start, he'd rouletted a player, done a fake shot, and held it off to assist for McGuinness's goal. For Wilkes' goal. And then, it's a big win against Accrington. And then something we were never expecting on Saturday. Away to Portsmouth, I'd have taken a draw. Portsmouth are on paper one of the best teams in the league, if not the best. They hadn't conceded in 6 games. They'd won all of those 6 games. 4-0. Gone and done them 4-0. With help from 2 own goals from Jack Watmore. Thank you very much. And it was all-round great performance as well. And George Honeyman is different class of player as he has been since signing for us last season.
He's very good.
I think he's got 4 goals this season, which I think he only had 2 for us previously.
Yeah.
He's also he's top of the assist chart in the league as well this season.
Oh, was he really? Wow.
Absolutely unbelievable. His set pieces are incredible. If we're not scoring from his delivery from the set piece, we're quite often scoring from what comes of the set piece. He put in the deep free kick for the first goal, which Keane Lewis Potter headed at the keeper, but Jack Watmore finished off. So he's not getting the assist for that, but that's all come from his ball. And he's on a different level. He's playing well above League One standard, well above it.
I did think that when Gillingham faced Hull, I was thinking to myself, he looks quite good, which is annoying. Elliot, I never thought I'd see the day that Gillingham were better away from home than they are at home.
Yeah,
they are. They've got 16 points away from home with 14 points at home. They've won more and they've lost. Played 1 game more at home. Now, before the game, I probably would have. I expected a win, and when they go 1-0 up, I expect. No disrespect to Rochdale, it hasn't been an incredible season for them. They've drawn like their last. I think of the last 4 games, I think they've drawn 3 and lost 1. So they're not going into it with a massive good form. And Gillingham over Christmas beat them 4-1 away from home. So I expected something. Going 1-0 up, fair enough. Good form. Kind of out of nothing. I think it was crossing to the box and Oliver just stabbed it home. And then you go 2-1 down. And it's so frustrating because I text you when obviously Gillingham scored and it was like, 4 points from playoffs currently. And you think, okay. And Akinde, fair enough, obviously hasn't been the signing that I wanted him to be. To replace that Tom Eaves that played for Gillingham. Good luck, because it's going to be a while till you find that, unless we re-sign him. Wouldn't mind, thank you, if we can get him back scoring. But then, and now you look at Gillingham's position in the table, you think they're 7 points off playoffs. You think, a last-minute push, but they're 8 points from relegation. They're the most mid-table side I've ever known in the history of football, Gillingham. I cannot fathom. I've said it before and I've said it again. Please do something. Yeah. I'm sick to death of supporting a team that's mid-table in the 3rd tier of football. I just want something to cheer about. The Pizza Cup. I had the Pizza Cup. I didn't care about the Pizza Cup until it was Pizza Cup and we made it something, and now I'm supporting Oxford. I want to support Oxford.
I'll tell you who Oxford have in the Pizza Cup, because they did the draw this weekend, whereas the games were all like 10 days ago.
Hull away to Lincoln, aren't they?
We're at home to Lincoln.
Oh, home to Lincoln.
I mean, it's almost as tough as it could get, but Oxford are home to AFC Wimbledon.
No, Wimbledon. I can live with Wimbledon. They were Gillingham's Beats team for a while.
So the winner of that tie. That's what you go for. The winner of that tie.
It's up the Wimbledon. Yeah. But no, it's just Gillingham 1-9, lost 11, drawn 3. It's not. Do I say it? Do I say it right now? Do I give up on our playoff hopes? Do I do it? Do I just resign now? Sam, this is 9:30, Sunday the 24th of January 2021. Do I just give up and say mid-table? Because that way I won't be disappointed because I'm just expecting it. I was so hopeful at the beginning of the season. I thought Gillingham were going to beat Hull in the playoffs. That is how hopeful I was at the beginning of the season. Now Hull are just sat top of the league. Comfortable. Well, I say comfortable. Lincoln still have a game in hand. Peterborough still have a game in hand. So you could still slip into the playoffs. But let's face it, you're challenging for the title. Gillingham are just, challenging for... I'll tell you what Gillingham challenge for every year is, when Sky Sports do the here's the table.
Oh, they want the top
They want to
half.
be in that top bit. They don't want to be in the. They don't want to be like 13th, just underneath it. They want to be 12th. That is what Gillingham fight for, and it's getting a bit boring now. But hey,
12th is 6th for Gillingham. That's what it is.
Yeah. So I don't know, but the problem is, if Gillingham do have this late push for playoffs, I pray Peterborough, Portsmouth, Doncaster, and Charlton are all the teams that occupy those space at the moment. Do I honestly see Gillingham beating those teams? No, I don't. I don't. I think Peterborough and Portsmouth this season have been brilliant. The fact that they're still challenging. Not just playoffs, they're challenging for the title and automatic. And then you've got Doncaster and Charlton. Charlton are very hit and miss this season. They do only occupy the playoff place by 1 point, and that's 7th and 8th, which are Sunderland and Crewe. Then underneath that, you've got Ipswich and Accrington, who've still got a fair few games in hand as well. I mean, if we face Accrington, fine. Yeah. I reckon we can beat them. But no, I don't know. There's nothing new for me to say every week. You're so positive every week when it comes to speaking about.
It makes a change, though. It does make a change.
No, I get it because what was it? All of like the first 10
just
podcasts
depression
that we did. Yeah, I remember. I do remember. But yeah, every week it's just, Gillingham have won.
Oh, they've drawn.
But so have every other team above them. And then, Gillingham have lost, and every other team above them have won. So it's just, I don't know. That's it. There's my review of the week. Well done. It says a lot. Obviously, I know we're on the EFL bit, but I'll see if I can get a couple of bites. In 2021, in the league, Newport's Tom King has scored more goals than Liverpool. Oh, Tom King's a goalkeeper, by the way.
It was some hit, wasn't it?
Oh, wow. World record hit. That's what it was, at it. It was a world record hit, 96.01 metres or something like that.
Incredible. Like, I saw someone tweet that he's going to have to take his goal kicks from slightly further back in future if he wants to break his record.
It was a freak goal. The wind.
Oh,
did you see? Like, ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And I get there's a goalkeepers union. I understand. But you're never going to score a goal again in your life. Let's face it. You're a goalkeeper. You're not going to score unless you become the penalty taker, which Ibar did against Atletico Madrid. I don't know.
I'd knee slide. I'd be gone.
You'd be in the stand. You'd be celebrating with the crowd. Like, get a yellow. Who cares? Shirt off. Here we go. But no, obviously, if it happens to you, it's quite embarrassing. But just have a fist bump or something. You just score.
I'd forget the goalkeepers union. I'd be gone. I think I saw someone retweeted it. It was a rugby celebration from like the 90s or something. Scored an amazing try, I think, and then he's jumped over the hoardings, jumped into the stadium, gone round the side of the stadium on the inside and come back out the other end still running. That's what I'd have been.
That can't be.
That's what I'd have been like.
That can't be real. Is that real?
I'm pretty sure it is. But
okay.
But that's what I'd be like. I'd be gone. I'd be. It's the kind of thing I'd always thought when I was playing five-a-side. If I ever scored a screamer, I am just going to run, get the car keys, and go. No.
It did get to a point with Dempo's famous five-a-side that if you ever just scored...
I did score. I scored one.
You scored in a friendly. No one counts pre-season friendly goals. They don't. No one counts them. And I think you were like 2 yards
I
off
was.
the
I
line.
tapped it in, but I scored.
You tapped it in, you scored. It was a friendly. I think we got the 5-0 win for it anyway.
I think I scored some absolute screamers warming up. There were a couple that I just hit right.
No, you did. I only ever scored 2 goals for Dempo. And I scored the first ever headed goal.
Header.
Header. And the other one was I was running down the left wing, cut inside. Classic Iron Robin, but right-footed me. Without the pace and the footballing ability of Iron Robin. But, that's what I was like. That was against Penny Roofing, I think it was. That takes us back, didn't it? Cheeseman went in goal and, anyway.
Wasn't quite Big Boys Pizza, was it?
He wasn't a goalkeeper. Big Boys Pizza. Classic rivals. I hated them. I still do. But sorry, that's not EFL roundup.
We do say we talk about
sponsored
football,
by Dempo,
but we didn't say what.
Amateur football. This week. Imagine if we still did five-a-side and we have a whole segment on us. This week, Matt put on a man of the match performance in goal while Clifford cleared off the line and knife.
As if I'd still be going to the 90th
take it
minute.
seriously. well, yeah, the 2 15-minute halves. I was struggling. I remember when I first came back, my first game for uni, I was like, I play five-a-side at uni, guys. I've got this. And then I got onto it, I'm thinking, this pitch is bigger than five-a-side. And I just ran once.
Gone.
And I was like, oh. But I did do a no-look pass to Cheeseman, which was applauded.
Nice.
I remember that. Yeah. so anyway, yeah, 1 on Tom King.
And Ibar's goalkeeper, which...
Oh, and Ibar's goalkeeper scored against...
It was against Atletico Madrid in the 11th minute at 0-0. Why?
Why not? We need to see more goalkeeper. The thing is, all right, if goalkeeper... Now, I'm quite good at penalties. I think you've seen me do penalties. I maybe have not done it against a professional keeper. I might be quite easy to read, but I genuinely think I'm quite good at penalties. I do. But I play in goal. But if I'm at that training ground, like taking penalties, and you think, he's probably the best penalty taker, why not? Yeah. You've seen Joe Hart and Pickford take penalties. They're ridiculous.
Pickford's was one of the greatest penalties I've ever seen.
Get in this Merseyside derby. It's going to happen in February. If there's a 90th minute penalty, your best penalty taker is Pickford. Get him up. Why not? It'd be a laugh.
Yeah, and also the lad's full of confidence. There's no getting into his head.
Positives of that. Real Madrid got knocked out by literally electricians.
So that Real Madrid game, they were playing a team called Alcoyano. I'm pretty sure it's something like that. So
big fan.
So they're a semi-pro team in the third tier, which is regionalised. And Alcoyano finished with 10 men. It's one of the biggest shocks in Spanish football ever. So Alcoyano were playing with a 41-year-old goalkeeper. They were beaten in November by Villarreal's B team 3-0. And it is one of the darkest days in Real Madrid history. This isn't just, there's been an upset. No, this is massive. This is like, I don't know, this is like Man United losing to Chorley.
Marine beating Tottenham.
And it wasn't a poor Real Madrid team they played. They had Hazard, they had Cruz, they had Benzema came on, Asensio, Eder Militao scored the goal. It was world-class play, or bordering world-class players, and they've lost to a semi-pro team. Incredible. Yeah.
I did see a picture of Isco and Marcelo kind of having a bit of a laugh. They're fringe players anyway, aren't they, at the moment?
I think there's talk of both of them leaving soon.
Yeah, and Ramos, potentially. Could see him in the Prem.
I would love to see him in the Premier League. How good would that be?
It was always Man United, wasn't it, I think? It was always that kind of Man United.
Yeah,
but...
although recently been linked with Tottenham. Is that just
I was going to say, I think Tottenham.
Mourinho?
Maybe, who knows? Right, ending the podcast. I'm going to do a pun. You may laugh, you may cry, you may not laugh, you probably won't laugh. I laughed, I did. Without further ado, I think I may as well just get on with it, say the pun and end the podcast. So, Elliot, you ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Yeah. That's what Lana feels like when she edits this. So I've got to sit through this pun anyway. I sat next to an over-enthusiastic insurance salesman at a Robbie Williams concert, and through it all, we offered me protection. So thank you very much for listening to this week's podcast. We are through a goal. We are TO Goal Podcast. We're TO Goal Podcast on Twitter. We're on Spotify. I don't know, wherever you get your podcast. Oh my god!
If you're listening, you've got to come back just for stuff like that. Come on.
Yeah, come back every other week. That's when my stupid puns come in. Where are we? We're on every streaming platform you can think of. We're there. You hear our voices. We thank you very much for listening and your support. I've been Sam.
Yeah, and I've been Eddie.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. Tell your friends. Bye.
Bye. Oh my god.